Hey, since we just did the Fraymakers thing, only if I get a 6-round revolver to shoot bright. Wait, to bet, really? Hold on, that's not a bad deal. Yeah, since we were talking about Fraymakers, a popular topic as of late, for whatever reason, I don't know why this started again as a trend, but a popular thing everyone's doing again is making Smash rosters. And I just so happened to make one last night. You're very excited? You're very excited for what? You excited for my Smash roster? Uh-oh? Don't act like you guys haven't seen this already. Oh my lord, tier list time? No, I made it already. I made it. No, it's not gonna be the whole stream. It's not gonna be the whole stream. Soul, come back. This isn't gonna be a bit for the whole stream. This is just like a little moment. Soul, no, don't leave. Hold on, ready? I made a roster. You literally just saw a Bandana D hate tweet 5 minutes ago. Uh-oh, he's on my roster. Yes, this is a roster I made last night. I made it in like an hour, maybe hour and a half. If your fan roster ain't got Travis touchdown, I don't want it. I don't know how to tell you this. I don't think he's ever getting on a roster, period. Yeah, here's something I made in like an hour. Honestly, if I'm being so for real, for a roster I came up with kind of on the spot in like under 2 hours, I think I kind of cooked. I think, truly, honestly, I think I kind of cooked with this roster. Now, I'm not 100% happy with it. Who could be? Who could be 100% happy with the roster? But I think if this was the roster, I'd be okay with it. You held your tongue last night, but I don't know if Bayo as a series got more emotion than Dread. Oh, from the conversation last night? Yeah, I think Bayo's done. Unfortunately. A sad end to the saga of Bayonetta, but I think Bayonetta's done. I don't want to cut Bayonetta, but you know. We gotta move on. It was a neat blip in the history of Nintendo. On your birthday? Sorry, Hannah. Okay, now she's free. Now she's free. Now she'll never be beaten up by Mario again. W? Now she doesn't have to associate with all these freaks ever again. Bulborb? Yeah, I want Bulborb. I know everyone's saying Ochi, but I'm gonna be so fair. I get why people want Ochi. I don't know what Ochi would do. You know? That guy just kind of like... He just kind of like walks around and tackles. He's got dash attack on lock. Seeing a lot of male characters on the list. I added a ton of women! What are you talking about? I added a ton! Look at all the nuke. Look. Okay, Pauline. Ayumi. I added Deep Cut, which has 2 women, 2 for the price of 1. Mach Rider is debatable. And Susie. I added a ton. Shadow and not Maria noticing. And how many male characters did you add? Paper Mario, that's 1. Sidon and Skull Kid are 3. Bandana D is 4. Meowscarada is both, or neither. So that Meowscarada doesn't count, and Bulborb doesn't count. Isaac is 5. Shadow is 6. Alucard is 7. Chino is 8. And Chorus Kids. I tried my best, man. I tried my best. I was debating adding either like Arl from Puyo Puyo or Lip from Puzzle League, Puzzle Panic, whatever that fucking game is called. I think either of them could make it in. I was struggling. Panel de Pon, thank you. I think Arl or Lip would be cool to add. Chorus Kids 8, 9, 10? No. I mean, I guess that's fair. Do we know the gender of the Chorus Kids? They could be girls. We don't know. Yeah, I did. When I was looking back at the roster, I was looking at all the third parties. I'm like, damn. It's like almost all men. Except for Kazooie and Susie. When they gave one of them a name, it was Maxwell. Alright, so confirmed 1, potentially a man. However, there's 2 more. To be honest, I feel like since Ultimate came out, Nintendo doesn't have enough strong new first-party characters to warrant a new Smash game. I mean, I disagree. I feel like there's a couple of new, like, I think Deep Cut, like, a lot of, like, I think any of the Splatoon idols would be good. I just picked Deep Cut because they're my favorite, and I think Big Man could give them some moveset variety. Pauline and Ayumi are, like, characters that have, like, made a comeback, so that's cool. Sidon represents the new Zelda era. Meowscarada, new Pokemon. Paper Mario, long time coming character. Ravenbeak. They didn't really when Ultimate came out either, to be fair. That's true. That's the thing, right? Like I think more has happened in the world of Nintendo from Ultimate to now than had happened from Brawl to Ultimate. Personally speaking. At least in terms of like new characters and like refreshed characters. But yeah, there's definitely things you can criticize with this roster. I think I didn't add any new Fire Emblem or Xenoblade, which I think is just wrong. Pokemon, you could maybe look at and be like, that should be Pokemon Trainer. I was really trying to keep it to 80, but then I forgot, I had Geno in a tab, and I just forgot to put him in the roster, so he's here, and I just couldn't help myself to add Chorus Kids. I tried to keep every Nintendo franchise. I think I did, right? Am I missing any Nintendo franchise? I don't think I cut any franchises. I'm looking. No new Fire Emblem is fine, but they'll definitely do more Xenoblade. Yeah, like, let's not add a Leer, bro. Can we, like, not add a Leer? Please, thank you. I think, you know, Fire Emblem has had new characters every single goddamn game. They can sit one out. They can sit one out. Come on. Yeah, there probably should be a Xenoblade 3 character. It hurt to cut Dark Pit. I had Crystal here, actually. But, I think I cut her... Why did I cut her? Oh, you know what? I cut her because when I finished with this roster, I had completely forgotten Xenoblade. They just weren't on the roster, so I had to cut some characters. I cut her and I cut someone else, I forget who. I'm not ready for the next game to have 3 more FE characters. No, 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 they're not gonna do that. They've never done that. Wait, Smash 4 did that. No, because Roy wasn't. No, Corn is new. Damn. Can we cut Puff? Not unless you want Hell's Fury to rain down upon you. I saw us saying replace Sidon with Mipha. I agree. I would personally choose that. However, I think Sidon is just more prevalent. He's more, like, focused upon in all the Wild Era games. Well, not all, but most. You know, he's a major character in Breath of the Wild, Tears of the Kingdom, and Age of Calamity. So, I feel like it just makes sense that he is the pick for the Wild Era. And Skull Kid, like, come on. Skull Kid's been a favorite for far too long. Skull Kid has stayed relevant for, God, like 20 years? How long has it been since Majora's Mask came out? Majora's Mask was 2000? Damn, so 26 years. You would be cool with Riju, but unfortunately she would get swordsman slander because it's Smash. Yeah. Riju would be fine too. I'd be fine with Riju. I just think... I don't know, whenever I think of, like, the main guy of the Sages, I think of Sidon, just because he's, like, the most closely linked with the main cast, you know? You think of Tulin? Tulin? That guy was only in one game. They should cut Mewtwo and do Gengar instead for at least one game? No! Mewtwo's too sick. You can't cut Mewtwo. Never again. Not after last time. We learned our lesson after last time. You can't cut Mewtwo. Yeah, I wanted to cut Charizard, but I asked the Japan time guys. what I should do about it, and they said you should at least like I want to cut all of Pokemon Trainer, but the Japan Time people said you gotta at least keep Charizard, and so I'm like, okay, fair enough. It's not like I don't get it. I'm surprised you kept Kazuya in. I tried to be fair. I tried to be fair and just. They didn't do Trainer for technical reasons. Well, now they're not doing Trainer for logistics reasons. It's a new reason this time. What else could I say here? I made sure to have all 3 Fighting Dreamers in here. Do you remember from the Smash 4 hype days? Bandana D, Isaac, and Gino. Techno, I guess you're right. They could kind of just do that for Pokemon Trainer. You might be right. That's something we could change. We should add Y'shtola. True, true. I mean, yeah. I would have no objection to just adding Y'shtola. Would anyone else? I imagine. The issue is, I've said this last time we discussed the idea of adding Final Fantasy XIV to Smash. Is like, I don't think there is any Final Fantasy XIV character that people who don't play Final Fantasy XIV know about. Like, unless you are in the Final Fantasy XIV verse, like, culture, you don't know a single goddamn character in that game. You ain't know a Xenos, you ain't know a Y'shtola, you ain't know an Alphino. I think that's a bad idea for Smash. It's always Cloud. It's not always Cloud. I think they could have done more than just Cloud and like Sephiroth. I think like Chocobo would have been fun. Just put the Moogle in the bag. Warrior of Light, chills, chills. I'm just noticing, I think I kept every third-party franchise except for Persona. Oh fuck, why'd I do that? If they did another Final Fantasy character, you'd want Tifa? Oh my god. Another Final Fantasy VII character? Yeah, I added 2 new third-party franchises, and I fleshed out some other ones by giving Sonic Shadow and Simon Alucard. Leon. I think Resident Evil. I think it's Resident Evil time for Smash. I think it's time for Resident Evil to get in. So Leon. I think Leon's the big one for this game. For this roster, Leon is the big one. And then I put Susie in. They're definitely gotta do another new Pokemon that came out after Meowscarada. Yeah, but that's just like, that's something that like I couldn't possibly know. So I'm working with today's knowledge. Yeah, I really think next game is also time for an indie game character. And I think Undertale / Deltarune is kind of the front runner, probably, right now, yeah? I guess you could make an argument for, like, Hades or Shovel Knight. Is ZSS dead? Yeah. ZSS got cut. So I cut ZSS, I cut Dr. Mario, Piranha Plant, I cut Sheik and both alternate links. I cut Squirtle, Ivysaur, Corrin, Roy, Chrom, Dark Pit. Joker, I cut Ken. Lucas. Incineroar. Yeah, Incineroar felt really bad. It felt really bad to cut Incineroar. I think Incineroar is one of the coolest characters they added in Ultimate. But I could see a situation like similar to what we got with Brawl, where we lost Mewtwo but gained Lucario. So in this one we lose Incineroar but gain Meowscarada. Incineroar is one of the faces of comp Pokemon. He's massively popular. Yeah. I don't know. Again, that's something we can workshop. There's definitely criticism you can levy against this roster. I feel like there's gotta be a point in time where we can finally let Lucario go, right? I feel like now is not the time yet, but I feel like there's gotta be a time. We can kill Zard, it's what he would have wanted. Who's he? Mewtwo was the case where he was left out because of time constraints. Yeah, I'm not saying that like that was the intentional decision to like cut Mewtwo and add Lucario, but I'm just saying like that's how it turned out. You're over Lucario personally, but the furries would destroy you. No. Lucario's consistently very popular. Yeah. Yep. Trying to think of what else I could say here about this. When do they add Eevee? Hopefully never. Hopefully that's just a meme that will pass, along with Pokopia Ditto. If you axe them, you have 4 gens with nothing in the game. That's true. It would be nice if, like, at some point we could have... Well, no. That'd be 10 characters. Never mind. I was about to say it'd be nice if we could have every gen represented, but that'd be a whole row here just for Pokemon, which, I mean, it's not like it doesn't deserve it, but... it'd maybe be a bit much. And that's also would mean we'd have to kill Jigglypuff, Mewtwo, and Charizard, and Squirtle, and Ivysaur forever. Finally, Zoroark gets his time to shine. When do they announce this game? Probably not until... I don't know, because we still don't know what the second Namco game is. I mean, what even is the likelihood that Sakurai was directing Smash and Air Riders at the same time? It's not impossible, you know? Yoshi P was directing Final Fantasy 16 while also still working on 14. So it's not impossible that, like, a director could be directing 2 games at the same time. and Kirby Air Riders was a relatively smaller scale project. At least in comparison to a Smash Brother. He does a lot of work for Smash, like he does all the planning himself and designs the movesets. That's true. This is true. The way they talked about not doing any more updates to Kirby makes me think they made it fast and then moved on to Smash. I think that's a possibility, and if that is the case, well, first off, it's definitely not getting announced this year. Because this year, I think, is not necessarily a lull year, but it's not, like, the big one. It's not a big year. Kind of a calm year. And also, we're trying to polish Star Fox's star right now. You know? I think the worst thing you could do to Star Fox right now is completely interrupt its momentum by announcing a Smash like 2 weeks before it comes out. Riding out the economy year, yeah. No, yeah, Sakurai makes games fast. I mean, in his lifetime, he's made what, like, close to like 10 or 11 games? That's a lot of games. Because he's made Dreamland, Superstar, Adventure, Air Ride, Smash 64, Melee, Brawl, Wii U, 3DS, Ultimate, Meteos, Kid Icarus Uprising. Yeah, it's like 12 games. And many of them were massive. That's crazy. He's crazy. All in the director's chair, you know, it's like not like he like went like a supervisor role for any of those. Those were all in the director's chair. So yeah, like also creating a Kirby anime in the middle there, yeah, and the YouTube channel. That man he's a workaholic, man. He just works so fast. And he's also like very efficient. He's one of the best in the biz. We need to get rid of this Mega Man. I disagree. I love this Mega Man. Let me see the Star Force design. Hello? Advent, your fanboy is clouding your judgment. But yeah, probably not announced this year. Maybe I could see it announced next year. Maybe. I guess it depends on how early they want to announce it too. I mean, do you think the fervor is there right now? Because like, but before Ultimate was announced, it was like a full year of people just kind of losing their mind, waiting for Smash. Do you think we're gonna have that again anytime soon? Do you think it's just starting? Some would say we need a big game to unite the community. Like the Nintendo community? What are we saying here? That's a real sentiment expressed by Nintendo YouTubers. Oh, I see. I see, I see, I see. I mean, Smash is a moment, you know? When Smash is, like, around, it does kind of take over the entire culture. Which is, you know, a very different feeling. You know, like, Nintendo announcements feel different when Smash is around. The vibe of the console feels different when Smash is around. It's kind of crazy. I do wonder, this is kind of ties into what I've been saying a lot with, like, the Switch 2's lineup. I do wonder if they're trying to, maybe not entirely, but maybe a little bit trying to kick their reliance on certain franchises. Because it is a little crazy that, like, every time a Nintendo console comes out, we're just kind of asking for the same games. Like, oh boy, a new Nintendo console. I hope they make a new Smash Brothers and 3D Mario and Mario Kart and 3D Zelda. It's a little crazy. You say that while they're leaning in on nostalgia with 2 N64 remakes? Yeah, that's an issue, ain't it? Give you a Paper Mario that's good again. Yeah, they're an interesting company, man. They're fun to follow. I guess that's the bright side of them being so consistent with their franchises like this, is that it is fun to follow and speculate. You know? If you're a PlayStation fan, like, what do you speculate about? You can't sit there and be like, oh boy, I hope they make a new Ape Escape. Like, that's not gonna happen. What new frictionless game will come out next? Oh, ooh. PlayStation fans are just Square fans waiting for KH4 and FF7R3? Yeah. It's crazy to hear Sorrows was just easy. Was it? There's no way. KH4 is taking so long. It is. I can't believe we're getting an entire FF7 trilogy before Kingdom Hearts 4, man. That's so crazy. You bet FF7R3 is announced and released before you even see KH4 again? Yeah. Uh-oh. Lobster's actually played the game. He's gotta drop the knowledge on us. Destiny 2 final live service content update June 9th. Though active development may be concluded, we will ensure that Destiny 2 remains playable just as the original Destiny is today. I'm nervous about Marathon. I really like Marathon. But man, the world just wasn't ready for Marathon. I don't know. Why do I hate Yoko Taro? I mean, I just didn't want to add that many new third parties. You know? I like Smash. I think third parties feel more special when there's only a few. Ultimate got a bit too crazy with third parties. I'm trying to reel it back in. Yeah, 2B had to sit up, but 2B could still get in. Again, this is just an idea. This is a concept of what a Smash 6 could look like. 2B is also pretty likely. Honestly, like, it's not even, like, guaranteed that we get an indie game character. So if it wasn't Susie, like, it could very well be 2B. There isn't a lot of fervor for what Sony has coming up next. What, you're not excited for Fair Games? Come on, guys. Get excited for Fair Games.